Hello, I'm Eve Simone, and today I wanted to talk to you about how do you hold the double bass, and how do I hold the double bass, and what's going on with all that. So to introduce myself, in case you're new to my channel, I played the double bass when I was a kid from the age of 9 to 21 or so, and then I stopped and played about once a year or less for the last few decades, and now I'm in my late 40s and I'm starting to play the double bass again. But I'll tell you what, being away from the double bass, I feel like I've been living under a rock, because when I watch YouTube now, things have changed and are very different. So for example, there's a lot of people out there holding the double bass like a cello. How do you even do that? You know, both feet on the floor, really low, and then your left knee is like all the way over here, I guess. And your head's very close to the fingerboard. And like I said, things have totally moved on and changed since back in my day in the 1990s. So I wanted to share some thoughts. I've been watching the videos on Double Bass HQ, and his videos are excellent, very thought-provoking. So he dropped a video yesterday about advances in the double bass in the last 20 years, and then in the last year he has a video about different ways to hold the double bass. You know, this for me was completely mind-blowing, because he covered things that I've never even heard of. So an angled endpin, I didn't know that existed. Both feet on the floor, again, very new to me. Left foot on a yoga block, new. And something called an ergo bass, which when he demonstrated it, I thought he was going to use it like a chin rest at first, you know, pop his double bass on his shoulder or something. So very interesting stuff. So yeah, when I learned the double bass, there were like two options: basically standing with a straight end pin, that was it, or sitting, primarily for orchestral playing, with your left foot on, see, I don't have a camera set up well enough, but sitting on a bass stool with your left foot on one of the higher rungs. And sitting with a foot on the higher rung, I don't mind it so much. I think it's very helpful for orchestral playing, because as you know, not only are you playing for many hours, but a lot of times you're just sitting there waiting to play, so it's nice to be seated. Now I will say, having the double bass resting entirely on my left leg like this, it's not that great physically, I think. And also the points made by Double Bass HQ, I could echo that yeah, the more of your body that's against the bass, you're muting the sound. But I think for orchestral playing, it's really good. But I did want to make some comments about standing, because I thought that there was a few points I could add about this, that why I enjoy standing, and I will continue to do so. Though I have to say, you know, I'm fascinated seeing people playing the double bass and holding it as if it's a cello. And I may experiment with that just to see if I'm, you know, maybe I'm missing out. I don't want to miss out on something good, you know. So I'll check that out. But there's some things about holding the double bass standing that I think you can't beat with any different approach. And I want to share a few. So the fact that you can move, you know, all these other positions, when you're seated with your feet on the floor, this and that, you're static, you know. And what is good about movement to me is that it frees up what I want to do with my right arm, especially. So for example, if I'm on the E string, you shift the bass out so it's like this. But let's say I want to be in thumb position, then I just tilt it back, come around, you know, and I can get the sound I want there, but it's having this ability to move around, you know? Like, I have freedom of movement, and I also feel connected to the double bass in a way that when I'm sitting or doing any kind of other position, I feel more distant. Like if I can't move around with it, it's just out there, you know? So for me, that's the big difference. And, you know, I like being able to move the double bass with my left knee and change the angle like this for the bowing and move around in different ways. So I really enjoy that. Also, something that's new to me is this idea of keeping the fingerboard up here very close to your face, like the way, you know, like I guess like a cello or something. And so I'm not doing that yet, or maybe ever. I mean, for me, when I think of a left hand, I like to have a straight, you know, my shoulder relaxed and my elbow, so it's like this, you know? And I don't need to have my hand near my face. I just need to have it at a good angle, and also to have, when I think about my left arm, I'm thinking more about having the space and the freedom to do what I want with my vibrato, you know? So I don't need it any closer to my face, personally. But again, I wanted to say, you know, you do what works for you. We all have different body shapes and sizes and instrument shapes and sizes, and also playing situations. You know, what I'm doing mostly is just playing for fun, playing solos. So this is how I enjoy playing. But, you know, if you're playing for 3 or more hours a day in an orchestra, you have to do what you have to do, you know. So anyway, I just wanted to share some thoughts on this. Drop me a comment below. How do you hold the double bass? You know, what criteria do you apply in thinking of your perfect position? Does it change depending on if it's solo or orchestral music or jazz or pop? I mean, and yeah, share your thoughts. So, and I would say, like, I've never tried an angled endpin, but having seen it, that's very interesting, you know, like, I have a hard time without having tried it. Like, I don't really understand why I would need it, because I feel like the balance is perfect, the ability to shift and move around, and I don't feel the double bass hold. Like, one thing that was brought up in the double bass HQ videos, I don't feel the double bass on my thumb at all, because like right here, you know, yeah, of course as it falls away as I'm holding it, but like, okay, like right here, balancing with it, then yeah, I don't feel anything bad on my thumb there. I will say the one thing that I'm struggling with getting back to the bass, but I think it has to do with me needing to be more physically fit and practice more, is in thumb position, especially once I get over here. Like, once I want to bring my arm up, having the strength to press down and keep my arm up, because, you know, it's another thing. I can put my arm down and then that's easier, but then I risk, you know, hurting my wrist because I'm breaking this angle. But just being able to play up here, yeah, without putting my elbow down and being able to vibrato and not falling off the fingerboard, that right now is challenging for me, but I'm hoping it'll come back with time. But anyway, thanks for listening to my ramblings about holding the double bass. Like I said, coming back to it now after so many years, things have really changed and progressed. So, you know, I'm excited by that, and I'd really like to hear what's working for everyone else. Okay, bye now.